So the next big thing, now that you've got your email set up, now that you can actually type the @ symbol properly, okay, the problem that you've got is that your drives are going to look a bit funny. So you click on the folder there and that doesn't look normal. So you have to go here to this PC, okay, and that looks a little bit more like what you're used to. However, the N drive now, we are going to be retiring the N drive in the next few weeks. So one of the things that you need to do is set up your O drive. And your O drive is going to make your whole life a lot easier, because the O drive is a drive that's based on the internet. So it's not Trent College server anymore, it's going to be stored on the internet. The big advantage of that is that you're going to be able to log into your Trent College files from home and everything's going to look exactly the same as it does at Trent. It doesn't matter whether you're an Apple user, whether you're a Windows user, you're going to go through the same process to get to your files, whether you're at school or at home. And it's called the O drive, and as you can see, we don't have it at the moment. It's not set up. So if you click on OneDrive and enter your email address in there, so I would be sample.student@trentcollege.net, it will take you through the sign-in process. And it says there's some additional info required, so you click next. Now, another very interesting feature of our new system is that if you've ever been that person who forgets your password and has to go all the way from the Kelvin building to the Swallow building to ask ICT to reset it, well, you're in luck, because we're going to move to a system where you can reset your own password. Okay? However, you need to give us some pieces of information so we actually know that it's you. Now, there's three things that you can do. You can use your mobile phone. You can give them your mobile phone number and that will email you a code. And if you ever forget your password, you'll be able to use your phone to recover your password. So if you're the kind of person who is carrying your phone around the school, so you know, year 7 and 8, this is no good for you, but year 9 and above, you might want to go down the phone authentication route. Okay? If you're in year 7 or 8, one of these two options is going to be better for you, because you don't have your phone. So what you can do is you can give an email address and it will send a code to that email address, and then you can use that code to change your own password if you ever forget it. The only thing is, obviously, if you think it through, the email address that you give can't be a Trent College email address, because if you can't remember your password, you won't be able to get into your Trent College email address. So your option there really is your own personal email address. Now, this information is not really going to be shared between anyone else in the school. It's just stored on a server with Microsoft, so it's pretty safe. So I'd feel pretty confident entering my own personal email address in there and it not be a problem. The third option, if you're not comfortable with that, is that you can answer some security questions and it will give you a code. I'm going to answer the security questions because I'm pretty confident I can answer them, and it will also give you an example of what security questions are. So you answer 3 questions, so you choose. So in which city was your mother born? Well, I'm going to say Nottingham. Okay, and you know, you need to really actually answer the questions properly, otherwise you'll forget what you've written here, because hopefully you don't forget your password every week. So this is something that you know, you might not have to do for a couple of years, so you need to answer the questions properly. So what's your favourite food? Well, mine tends to change, so I'm probably not going to use that question. What was the first make and model of your first car or motorcycle? Well, that would be a great question for me, but I'm not sure that it's going to be so good for you. What was the name of the first school that you ever attended? Well, that's something that we all remember. So I attended Albany Nursery School. So that's what I'm going to put in there. And security question 3 Childhood nickname, I didn't have one. Name of first pet, I didn't have one. Name of soft toy, never have one, never will have one. Favourite sport in secondary school, didn't have one. First job, well my first job I was an engineer, so I'm going to put that in there. Finally we need to do one more. What am I going to go with? Last four, didn't know. Well, what I wanted to be when I grew up was a scientist, ironically. So I'm going to put that there. Save answers. And click finish. So I've got one tick. One tick is good enough for this. So you click finish. It's now going to sign you in to OneDrive. And we'll show you what that looks like. So that's my OneDrive folder. Great, yeah, we're happy with that. Just click next. Just click next. I'm going to open my OneDrive folder. And it gives me a little bit of a tutorial, basically, which you might want to read. I think you're probably pretty confident with it, but if you want to read it, please do. We're all set. Okay, so that's completely set up. If I go here now, you can see that I've got a OneDrive. So at some point in the future, I'm going to need to go back to my PC and get all my stuff from the M drive. You can see this person doesn't have a lot, and just drag them into the OneDrive, and everything's now available in OneDrive. And you might think, well, okay, what's the point in that? You know, what's in it for me? Okay, well, that's a very good question. And what is in it for you is that when you go to the home page, if you click on Office 365 here, let's just sign into this. So my email address is sample.student@trentcollege.net, and my password is my password. Okay, so I'll have to type it again. I think you only have to type this once, so again it will be better in the future. So password goes in. Remember my credentials, because I don't want to keep signing in all the time. I just want to sign in once when I log on to the machine and not again. So the computer can remember that. Make your life a lot easier. Okay, this is your Office 365. Now the great thing about this is it's internet based. We're on a web page. Okay? But on this web page you can get to your OneDrive. So there's nothing in my OneDrive, but just to show you. Okay, you can see I have no files except for a folder called attachments. I don't know what's in there, it creates that automatically. But you can do this from home. So if you've got an Apple computer, if you've got a Microsoft computer, if you've got a tablet, if you've got a mobile phone, as long as you've got an internet connection with a browser, you can now get to your Trent College files straight away. Okay, if I go back to the home page, whether you've got PowerPoint on your computer or not, so if you're an Apple user, you know, you used to have a real problem because you probably didn't have PowerPoint. Well, now it's web-based. So you don't even need PowerPoint on your computer to use PowerPoint. You don't need Word on your computer to use Word at home. You can even use it on your phone, especially if you've got little fingers. You can check your Trent College emails from any device. Okay? You don't have to have Outlook because it's all going to work through this web page. So by just completing the procedure that I just showed you, it's going to enable you to look at your Trent College emails, look at your Trent College files, and use Microsoft Office wherever you are and whatever you've got. So absolutely you need to complete this process. And then if we just close it all down, so close all the tabs, your system is now ready to use. You've got access to Microsoft Office at school and at home, or even on the move. You've got your email up and running. You've got a way to recover your password, which we'll go over in more detail in a few weeks, and you can type the @ symbol in an email address. So you are now good to go. Thank you very much. Happy computing.